Alright guys, we're going to do a pod review today, and we just need to navigate our way through here. These are getting quite packed in here. And we're going to pick one of these pods over here on this one. The pods are just starting to come in now on a lot of my peppers, and so we're going to start getting these reviews done. And so there's this one right here, and this is the CGN 16941. If I can get down in there, I can actually show you the tag. Okay, that is what that one is. Which we'll probably try and winter this over. It looks like a lot of them. What happened was, you see a lot of these are burned. I added fertilizers to it, and I made it a real strong dose, because I was fertilizing my tomatoes. Well, fertilizing your tomatoes and fertilizing your peppers are kind of two different things. Your tomatoes will actually utilize a lot of that, but I made it too strong of a dose, and I literally burned a lot of my plants. So that's my own fault, and so I'll probably bring them in. Maybe I'll top them. I'll top everything off, and then you know, I'll bring them in and see if they put up new shoots. But you got to be careful. I may have to actually repot all of these and take them out of the old soil, wash the roots off, and then pot it in new soil. Now, if you do that, they'll come back, but that's a lot of work, and that's a lot of soil. So anyway, we're going to do this one here, and that's what this is right here. What is this again? The CGN 16941. Okay, so we got a bunch of these ready. We'll pick them. That's what that looks like. Get these couple off of here. That one just fell off. And a bunch of them are already, looks like. Get them off the plant, you know. Still got slugs in here, and I'm lucky they didn't get this one, but they got a lot of my other plants. So there's one more down in there somewhere. There's a little one down here. Alright. Oh, I picked a green one, dummy. Kind of hard to do when you got a camera, you know. It's alright, no biggie. I just didn't get that many peppers off it, so I want them all to ripen so you get as much seed out of it as possible. And there were a lot more flowers on them. A lot of them dropped because, again, I over-fertilized, and on top of that, the heat was enormously hot in here. That's why I let all of this grow in here, to really cool things down a little bit, because I don't have a fan system or anything in here to cool it down, or air conditioning. So I let these grow and fill up the whole thing, and it cuts back on the light, but it definitely drops the temperature by about 20 degrees in here. So I have to do something. So anyway, let's take you over to the bench. Give you a better look at it. This is what it looks like. CGN 16941, I believe it is. Yeah, I believe that's what it was. It's a nice little pepper. It looks like it's probably going to be a little bit of a hot one, more than likely. But that's okay. That's what we're here for. So anyway, let's turn you around and let's get into it. Alright guys, here we go. We're doing another pod review again, and this is going to be either the first or the second pod review of 2020. It's something new, and we're finally getting around to doing the pod reviews. I'm doing all my tomato reviews now, and man, I got a lot of tomato reviews to do, and I actually have quite a few pod reviews. The thing with the pod reviews this year is that I don't think I'm going to be able to do them all out here, because most of these pods are going to start maturing while I'm bringing my plants indoors, I have a feeling. Unless we get a really warm fall, then I'll be able to do the rest of them out here. If not, I'm probably going to have to do them indoors. And I hate doing pod reviews indoors. It's not the same effect. I get a better feel when I'm out here doing a pod review, because I can walk around and move. The light is better and stuff. I don't like doing pod reviews down in my basement. So anyway, here it is. This is the CGN 19641, I believe it was. And I'll put the correct name in the description and all that. But you've seen it in the beginning of the video. So that's it right there. Let's give that a bite and see what it tastes like. got heat on it, man. Wow, that thing's hot, man. It's really like my first few hot pods of the year, so even ones that may not be that hot are really striking me hard, because I haven't really been eating hot peppers lately. It's not that hot, it's just, man, that thing's got some freaking heat on it, man. Holy shit. Wow, that thing's burning, man. That thing's got some heat on it, man. I don't know if it's because it's the beginning of the year or what. That thing's cooking hot, man. Wow. Oh, well, the flavor was really nice on it. It was kind of slight jalapeno type flavor, but it wasn't quite a jalapeno. Wow, that thing is hot, man. That thing is burning my mouth like you wouldn't believe. And it came out right away. Very fast with the heat. It came right out. I knew it as soon as I started eating it. It was starting to cook my mouth up very quickly. It lit my mouth right up very fast. The flavor was nice, though. I'm trying to think of what I could describe the flavor as. It wasn't quite jalapeno flavor. It didn't taste like a jalapeno, but it was similar in a lot of ways. It was a hot. It was a. It's like, it's not a macadam or anything like that. It's definitely, if you were to put it into some kind of a profile flavor, it's either an annuum or a chancy. Maybe if you want to kind of put it onto something, it would be leaning more towards like the cayenne or jalapeno type flavors. It didn't taste like jalapeno, but it was leaning in those directions. It's not habanero, ain't macadam, ain't none of that. Oh, man, that thing was hot, man. Wow. That came out striking and strong. This thing was pretty hot. It's going to get a pretty high number. It's already coming down, though. But it was scorching. Let's get into the heat a little bit. I'll try to get into that flavor again in a minute. Wow. The heat, first of all, the heat came out striking right out the gate. Man, that thing came out strong with a punch. Very strong. There was no chewing it for a while and then let the heat build. This came right out on fire. It was like I just poured lava into my mouth, literally. And the first thing it started doing was burning the tongue. It's burning in between my gums a little bit where the front teeth are and stuff where I chewed it. My lips are a little bit burning. The top of my tongue is like scorched. It feels like I burned it. You know, from hot coffee, if you drink really hot coffee, it feels like I basically burned it. It made my saliva very thick, too. So I have to keep spitting or else I'll blow bubbles out of my mouth, you know. So it makes your saliva very thick, which is good when you're making salsas and you kind of want that, your saliva to kind of blend with what you're eating. But not when I'm doing videos. The type of heat it was, again, it was striking, came across the top of the tongue. The very tip of my tongue took the brunt of it. The very tip, on the very tip, and then it burned the top of the tongue as it came in. And the whole top of the tongue, right up to about maybe midway, a little bit past midway, the tongue, the top was just torched from that thing. Road rash burn type of burn. That thing was striking. Wow, that threw me off. Now, keep in mind too, a lot of these plants I've been stressing out a lot. Not so much intentionally, but kind of inadvertently. And the reason why I say that is I've been missing watering days, and here you can't miss one day with water. You miss one day with water, these pots will be dry like a bone. You have to water every day. And so every now and again I was missing days, so that really is going to ramp the heat up a lot when you do that, guys. You want to get your peppers really hot, skip watering days to the point where the plants are almost wilting. Do that a few times. You're going to bring the heat up substantially. You're going to bring that heat up for that variety of pepper to its maximum when you do that. So if the maximum heat for that pepper is 30,000, you're going to bring it very close to that, if not hit 30,000. You got to stress the plant. That's one of the plant's defense mechanisms, is to produce capsaicin when it's under stress. That's why you do that. So when you start stressing the plant out, it starts producing capsicum or capsaicin. Wow. So anyway, it was a pretty powerful, striking, acidic type burn. It came straight out. It was burning. It also had like a gas in it, so it got into my sinuses and started to want to burn make me sneeze. But the flavor was unique. I'm kind of trying to see if I could find something that'll, where I could put this flavor. Let me take another small bite. It's really hard to place this flavor. It's not exotic or anything. It's just I can't remember what it might taste like. There's other peppers I've eaten that taste very similar to this. But it doesn't necessarily taste like jalapeno, but it's kind of going into the jalapeno range. It just doesn't have that signature jalapeno flavor, so to speak. But man, the flavor of that was a really nice pepper. It has a very common type of flavor in the world of like bird peppers and stuff like that. It has it's going into like a flavor like that. It doesn't taste like jalapeno, but it kind of does a little bit. But it has more of like a wild bird pepper type flavor. It tastes really nice, to be honest with you. Now, what could you use these peppers for? Well, you could chop them up and throw them in any kind of cooking, or you can basically pickle them. That's probably a really good way. If you're somebody who grows a lot of peppers and you don't know what to do with them, there's really two things that you could do with those. Dry them out. That's a really good option. And when you dry these out, they taste different, by the way. It's not going to taste anything like what I'm doing now. When you dry them out, get a completely different flavor profile, which is something I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start doing taste tests on dried peppers as well. And I might even offer that on the website. I don't know. I got to look into the packaging regulations for selling dried peppers. But you could either pickle them or you can dry them out. If you dry them out, you can store them in bags for years and just keep them in a sealed container so moisture doesn't permeate back into them. Or you could put them like in a mason jar. Just stuff them all into a mason jar. Or you can pickle them. You can pickle these peppers and they'll last you a very long time. Decades, literally. So that's a really good option if you want to store these peppers for long term. And you got a lot of them and you have room where you can fit mason jars. Pickling them is a good option. I'll be honest with you. It is a really good option. There's several ways to pickle your peppers. You can naturally ferment pickle them, or you can pickle them like using a vinaigrette. It's really up to you, but that is a good option. And I like to do a little of both. I might do a video one day of me doing a pickling of these. I just got so many jars of pickled peppers already. I don't need any more. So, but anyway, that's really about it with this review. I mean, it was a hot pepper. I'm going to tell you that right now. That thing was hot. Now, what would I say, Scoville-wise? Guessing, Scoville-wise? I think it was up there, man. That was like 30, 40,000 Scovilles. That thing was pumping, man. It just, I threw me off. I thought it was going to be like, an annuum or, your typical annuum, your typical type of... I didn't expect that. That came in like a line. But it did its thing, and then it came right down right away, so... But yeah, I mean, that thing's got some kick on it, man. So, anyways, what I'll do is, whatever information I can find on this, I'll put it in the description. And I'll also put it on my website. Keep in mind, on the videos that I do for all of the seeds that I sell on my website, a lot of times I'll update just the website's description, and I don't end up updating the video's description. I just don't have time to do that. So if I don't do that and you come to this video, always visit the website. You'll find a link in the description below. That'll bring you right over to this page. Yeah, don't always go by what you read in the description of YouTube, because I do them really fast, and sometimes down the road I update my descriptions, and I don't always get to updating the YouTube video description. I just don't have time. I got 1,500 videos on YouTube, maybe even more than that. I might even have 1,600 videos. By the end of this year, I'll probably have almost 2,000 videos. Guys, that's too many videos to go through to try to update. It's just not going to happen. So, but anyway, that's it. That was your pod review for the CGN 19641, I believe it is. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.